تالتة ثانوي هانت خلاص، أنا قد التحدي، خطوة كمان والبكرة هعدي. تالتة ثانوي، تالتة ثانوي.
أعزائي طلاب الصف الثالث الثانوي شعبة علم علوم، أهلا بكم في الحلقة الرابعة من تدريس الأحياء باللغة الإنجليزية على قناة مدرستنا 3 تحت إشراف وزارة التربية والتعليم. إن شاء الله in this episode we'll focus and explain the main point that related to the type of movement in both of plant and animals. By the end of this lesson, a student to able to differentiation between the different type of movement. Number 2, identify the type of muscles, smooth muscles and striated muscles. That's right. Okay, follow me please. Movement in living organism. Generally, what is the type of movement? Number 1, continuous movement. For example, cytoplasmic streaming. Number 2, total movement from place to another. Walking, standing, okay? Sleeping may be the type of the movement. That's right. Third type of movement, positional movement. What's the meaning of positional movement? It's depending on contract and relax, okay? That's right. Depending on contract and relax. Rhythmic of contraction and relaxation. This involuntary, it's occur inside the small intestines, esophagus, and stomach. It's called positional movement. Now we are going to focus about the movement in the plant. Number 1, touching movement. It's occur in mimosa plant. When the mimosa plant is touching, the leaflets, it is approach to each others, okay? When the external stimuli get away, returning to the normal positions. Number 2, weakness and sleeping. When the night it's come, the leaflets is approach to each others, and in day, okay, the leaflets it's returning to get away from each others and the weakness. Another type of movement in the plant, hypotropism. Hypotropism, the type of movement touching, weakness, and sleeping, depending on osmosis, transfer the waters from high concentration into low concentrations. But the another type of movement, hepatotropism, pulling movement. Number 1, pulling movement in the plant. Okay, it's okay in the climbing plant. For example, grapes, pea plants. Okay, for examples, there is a tendrils move in a spiral shape in airs. When meet a solid support, it's ringing about the solid support, touching a solid support and move spiral shape around it. The side faces to the solid support, it is become shorter in length, and another side is longer. So it's twisting and pulling the plant, so it's grow upward. This is the type of movement. What's the type of movement? Positional or continuous? It is a two type of movement. Continuous movement. Number 2, positional movement. Depending on euxine, not osmosis, as that occurs in another types of the movement. Number 2, pulling movement in the plant, cormus. The cormus, it is the swelling parts found in the plant. Pulling is a plant in a normal position, assured positions, tamam, in the soils. So it's play an important role helping the plant to resist the wind and make a fixation the plant in the soils. That's right. Okay. Another type of movement, cytoplasmic streaming, continuous movement. Cytoplasm, it contains organelles and nucleus. The organelles is found inside the cytoplasm, it's moved as the result of the movement of the cytoplasm, because the cytoplasm in a continuous movement. That's right. Okay. Support and the movement in living organism. To make the movement of the living organism, there is the integration between 3 systems. Nervous systems send the nerve impulses from the brain and the spinal cord into the muscle fibers, helping into contract and relax. Number 2 is skeletal systems through the bones that found. Muscular systems, it has the ability to contract and relax. It consists of the building unit in muscular tissue. It consists of the flesh, اللي هي اللحم يعني. Okay. helping in contract and relax. There is a two types of the muscle. A smooth muscle and striated. It's not applicable for the myosin and the actins. And the skeletal muscles, it's applied the skeletal muscles. Okay. What is the role or importance of the contract muscles? Number one, posture, maintaining the body in normal position, standing, sleeping, upward, downward. Continuous movement of the blood inside the blood vessels as the result of continuous movement of the smooth muscles to keep the normal blood pressures, 120 pairs 80 milligrams by the sphygmometer. It can be measure the blood pressures, okay? This is the importance of the muscles. What is the types of the muscles? It's voluntary and striated. It's skeletal muscle found in upper limb and lower limb. The building unit of the skeletal muscles, it's called the muscle fibers. It's found in the group of bundle surrounded by bundle membrane, premiciums, اللي هو المحيط اللي هو diameters. Each muscle fibers, it consists of myofibrils from 1,000 to 2,000 myofibrils. Okay? What is the type of myofibrils? Myofibrils, it consists of light bands that's symbolized by A. Dark band, I. The light band is symbolized by I. Dark band, A. And semi-lighted band, H. Okay. Second movement in main structure of the skeletal muscles. Each muscle fiber consists of protoplasm, contains cytoplasm called sarcoplasm. And surrounded by membrane, it's called sarcolemma. That means that the cytoplasm found in the muscle fibers is called sarcoplasm. And surrounded by membrane, it's called sarcolemma. الساركوليما ده اللي بيعمل ريسيفد لمين؟ للنيرف امبulses that's helping to contract and relax. The membranes which surround the sarcoplasm is called sarcolemma. The muscles fiber are collected in group called the muscles bundle surrounded by membrane is called premicium. That's right. Okay. Structure of the skeletal muscles. Each muscle fiber consists of a group of disc-like band that's symbolized by I. Light band I, symbolized by I. It consists of only thin filament, it's called actin. It's sected by Z line, zigzag, Z lines, darked line, Z line. It's found in the light band. It consists of only in myosin, I. Darked band, it consists of two types, myosin, thick filament, and actin, thin filament. I bisected from the inside, semi-lighted band. It consisted only on myosin. It's called H. That's right. Filament is called the actins. Group of disc darked band is called A band. And bisected by semi-lighted band are called H dune. It's formed of another thick protein filament. It's called myosin. The distance between each successive Z light band, it contains Z lines. And another light band, Z lines. The distance between two successive Z, it's called sarcomeres. قطعة عضلية, sarcomere, between Z and Z. Okay? It's called sarcomeres. That's right. Mechanism of muscle contractions. May please focus in this point. Sarcomeres equals the darked band, A, equal H. The number of sarcomeres equals the number of darked band. The darked band equals sarcomeres. Sarcomere equals A, equal H. Z line, zigzag, equals sarcomere plus 1. That means sarcomere equals Z minus 1. Light band, I, equals sarcomere plus 1. Complete light band equals Z minus 2, or sarcomere minus 1. Z minus 2. Complete light band in muscles fibers equals Z minus 2. Incomplete light band always equal 2. Again, complete light band equals Z minus 2. Incomplete light band always equal 2. Okay, that's right. When the nerve impulses, you know our focus now about the essential points. The motor nerve cells transmissions the nerve impulses from the brain and the spinal cord and reaching to the muscle fibers, the building unit of the skeletal muscles. when the nerve impulses is transferred from the motor nerve cells through the soma, the cell body, into the axons, reaching into the terminal arterializations, its branches as connecting with the muscle fibers. The calcium ion enter to the synapse. Synapse, it contains the synaptic vesicle. It is the point of connection between the terminal arborization of muscle fibers, terminal arborization of the motor unit, and the muscle fibers. Inside the synapse is the synaptic vesicle. It contains neurochemical transmitters. The muscle fibers in the normal positions at rest, no external stimuli. It's polarized. Outer surface is positive, inner surface is negative. Why? Because the concentration of sodium ion outside is more than in inners, but in inners the concentration of the potassium is greater than outside. Okay? At rest, Na outside concentration. K ions, potassium ions inside is high concentration. When the external stimuli it's occurred as a result of transmissions, the nerve impulses from the brain and the spinal cord reaching to the muscle fibers, the calcium ion enters the synaptic cleft, enters the synaptic vesicle and ruptures the acetylcholins. When the synaptic vesicle it ruptures and releasing its acetylcholins inside the cleft, influence sodium inside, so the outer surface is negative and the inner surface is positive, so it's make depolarization and contraction, it's occurs. The potential difference in this case equal positive 40 mV. Why? Because the inner surface is positive charge. Outer surface is the negative charge. After that, the nerve cell is the muscle fiber retaining to the normal position, repolarized and at rest. There is in the synaptic cleft is a point of connection between terminal arborization of motor nerve cells and the muscle fibers in neuroending plate, neuromuscular junctions. It contains cholesterase enzymes. The cholesterase enzyme play an important role in the decomposition of the acetylcholins in acetic acid and cholins. Then the sodium flow outside from inside to outside again to the normal position. The outer surface is become positive, inner surface is become negative. The cell returning to the normal positions, اللي هو mean relaxations. Okay? This is the mechanism it's okay. We can summarize 2 points. During contractions, we need calcium ion plus ATP. During relaxation, we need cholesterase enzyme plus ATP. Both of the 2 states contract and relax, needing ATP. Why? ATP, it is a adenosine triphosphate, standard universal currency of energy inside the cells to make helping the contract and relax. That's right. Mechanism of muscle contraction and relaxations. في عندي حاجة اسمها helix theory of the sliding filament. Helix theory depending on chemical structures of the muscle fiber according to the electric microscope. Found that the muscle fiber consists of myofibrils. Myofibrils contains light band, dark band, semi-lighted band. Light band symbolized by A, it consists of thin filament, it's called actin. Dark band, it consists of 2 filaments, sec and sen. Sec myosin, sen and actins are bisected by semi-lighted band H. So we can summarize about the contract and relax through the helix theory of the sliding filament. There is a transverse linkage. What is the meaning of the transverse linkage? They are the protein filaments. It arising from helping of the calcium ions. Please focus on me. Mechanism of contractions, the helix theory of the sliding filament. This state that represent the relax or contract, that's right, relaxations. It is called contractions. During contractions, the helix theory is told us the اللي بنقول عليها اللي هي helix theory of the sliding filament act the hook is connecting with the actin filament by helping ATP make a contractions. Okay? Transverse linked act a hook. What a hook? خطاف. Bending with the actin filament. What is the transverse linked? It is the protein filament that extend from myosins into actins. That means that myosin is stable, actin it's smooth. Act a hook. تمام؟ زي مفصل كده. That's right. The transverse linked is connecting with the actin filament during contraction and pulling the actin with the neighboring actin filming in contraction by helping calcium ion and ATP. During relaxations, what happens? Cholinesterase enzyme decomposed acetylcholine into acetic acid and choline. And the transverse linkage is get away from the actin filament and returning it to the normal position. It's called relaxation. This means that during contractions, the ATP needed and calcium ion is formed from the cohere, the contract and relaxing. That's right. Okay. The motor unit. We mentioned before, there is a building unit, a structure unit. Okay. What is the structure unit of the muscles, of the skeletal muscle? Muscles fibers. What is the function unit? The function unit of the skeletal muscle is called the motor unit. That means that the motor nerve cells, when the motor nerve cells reaching to the muscles fibers, it's branched, many terminal arterializations. Each one of motor nerve cells, it's branched into the muscles fibers and supplying from 5 to 100 muscles fibers. That means that each motor unit is consisted of 5 to 100 muscles fibers. Okay? At the point of connections between terminal arterializations and the muscles fibers, where the neuroending plate, it's called neuromuscular junctions. That's right. That means that what is the least numbers of the myofibrils in the skeletal muscle? That means that the number of the skeletal muscles by this number 1,000. What is the greatest number of the myofibrils in the skeletal muscles? Myofibrils by skeletal muscles, muscles fibers by 2,000 equals the number of myofibers that found in the skeletal muscle. What is the least number of the motor unit in the skeletal muscles? That means that the number of the muscles fibers divide 100, and the greatest number divided by 500. That's right. Okay. Okay. Muscle fatigue. When you exposure the vigorous effort, sequence of contract and relax, contract and relax. This lead to sequence of contraction and relaxations. Exposure to the consume a large amount of oxygen. Shortage in oxygen. That means that the muscles need to, related to the muscles tend to anaerobic respiration, but aerobic respiration, to producing a small amount of ATP. This lead to number 1, muscle fatigue, and number 2, muscle spasm. Again, sequence of contraction and relaxations as a result of the vigorous effort, decreasing the rate of the oxygen by consumption during this activity. Decreasing the rate of the oxygen lead to anaerobic respirations, to producing a small amount of ATP not sufficient. So it's lead to the causes the muscle fatigue and the muscle spasm. Muscle fatigue, during muscle fatigue, lactic acid accumulation inside the muscles and acetic acid outside the muscles. Muscle spasm as the result of shortage of ATP. Leads the muscles to chance to respire aerobically by transferring the glycogens into glucose against transfer the glucose into glycogen into glucose and make the chance to at rest to respire aerobically and to give a large amount of the ATP, 30 ATP, to helping them in the normal contract and relax. Now we are going to focus a main point through the light board to explaining the weakness point that can it not easy to understand in this lessons. Okay. We can summarize the movement of the humans. Movement in the humans, it related to the skeletal muscles. Skeletal muscle, it consists of muscles fibers. Muscles fibers, okay? Muscles fiber, MUSCLE fibers. It is the building unit, okay, of the skeletal muscles, of skeletal muscles. And there is another types of the related to the movement motor unit. It is the functional unit. There is a difference between the building unit and the functional unit. Okay? As the result of the stimulation that occurs in the nerve cells, when the nerve cells at rest, okay, muscle fiber membranes, okay, the outer surface is positive, okay, outer surface is positive, the inner surface is negative. That means that the potential difference equals negative 70 millivolt. Okay, that's right. The فين resting state. When the stimulation it's occurred in the motor nerve cells, the stimulation it's occurs. There is the synapse, okay, that found synapse. Inside the synapse, neurochemical transmitters inside the synaptic vesicles. Neurochemical transmitters inside the synaptic vesicles. Most important neurochemical transmitter inside the synapse, it's called acetylcholine. In hairs, presynaptic, postsynaptic, it's called cleft. Calcium ions is found in the synaptic cleft. As the result of transmissions of the nerve impulses, okay, as the result of transmissions the nerve impulses reaching to the from motor nerve cells, terminal arborization, reaching to the muscle fibers, the calcium ion enter to the cells, causes ruptures of the synaptic vesicles, releasing acetylcholine in synaptic cleft, transferring to a presynaptic, reaching to the muscle fibers. Then the muscle fibers in the depolarized state. Outer surface is negative, okay, and the inner is positive, okay. As the result of inflow sodium ions into the nerve cells. During this, sodium ions outside is concentrated, potassium ion inside is concentrated. When the nerve cell, the state of nerve cells in hairs, it's called depolarization. That means that the cell, it has the ability to contract. What the meaning of contract? Make a contractions by the effect of the calcium ions and ATP. Why ATP? Because the adenosine triphosphate causes the contractions. The nerve cells returning, the muscle fibers returning to the normal position at repolarized or resting states, that occurs when the sodium ions, its transfers outflow against the outer surface is positive, okay, outer surface is positive, inner surface is negative, as the result of flow of the sodium ions outside regain تاني and the potassium ion regain normal positions by the active transport from against the concentration of the gradient. That occurs by helping to cholinesterase enzymes. It occurs by helping of cholinesterase enzymes. Cholinesterase enzymes decompose the acetylcholines into acetic acid plus cholines. When the acetylcholine releasing from the neuromuscular junctions, it's the point of connections between terminal arborization of motor nerve cells and neuroending plate is found in the muscle fibers. It's called neuromuscular junction. Neuromuscular junctions is found a large amount of acetylcholinesterase enzymes. Cholinesterase enzyme decomposed acetylcholines into acetic acid and cholines, causes outflows the sodium outside the membranes, causes it the repolarizations and resting result leading to the normal positions. Vigorous effort, sequence of contraction and relaxation, shortage for ATP. ATP is shortage. So causes may be muscle spasm or causes the fatigability. Fatigability, that means that accumulation of lactic acid inside the cells and acetic acid outside the cells causes muscle spasm. It has an ability to contractions. This graph that's representing this point, okay. Normal contractions, okay. Normal muscle fatigue, muscle spasm, it contains without returning to the normal position. Thanks a lot for you, dear student. I wish I could see you again in a best wishes. Thanks to the greetings from me, Mr. Hatem Baysour, biology teachers. Thanks a lot and goodbye.
تالتة ثانوي هانت خلاص، أنا قد التحدي، خطوة كمان والبكرة هعدي. تالتة ثانوي، تالتة ثانوي.